And now, scores and highlights from the high school football field. This is Friday Night Fever, brought to you by Catholic Charities.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ross Jernstrom. It's week 10 of Friday Night Fever. Dave is off for the week, so I'm in to take his spot. It's also the opening round of the state playoffs. 16 teams. Let's get right to the highlights, starting with the matchup in Class A between the 12-seed Creighton Prep taking on the 5-seed Millard West. In the second quarter, Creighton Prep quarterback Reed Burke. Watch him find a wide-open receiver, Thomas Corpus, in the end zone for a 25-yard touchdown. The Junior Jays took the lead 7-3. But later in the second quarter, Millard West punts away to Prep. Corpus fields the ball inside the 10, but then fumbles it, and Millard West, Gabe Anderson scoops it up and scores a touchdown to make it 10-7. And the final score, Millard West 31 and Creighton Prep 14. Up next, the number 2 seed Millard South hosts Lincoln Pius X. Millard South came into the matchup with an 8-1 record. Patriots coach Andy Means watched his team take the lead on this touchdown run up the middle by Isaiah Harris. Millard South led 7-0. Later in the first quarter, the Patriots drove downfield again and scored off a 10-yard run by Harris. Millard South now led 13-0. Then in the second quarter, the Patriots special teams came up with a big play when Chase Perker took this punt on the 37-yard line, and he returned it to the far side of the field. And watch him go all the way down the sidelines, 73 yards for a touchdown. Millard South opened up a 20-0 lead. And the final score, Millard South 34 and Lincoln Pius X 14. The Patriots advance on to the quarterfinals. The number 3 seed in Class A, Bellevue West hosted Kearney. The T-Bird fans looking to make it a nightmare on Thurston Street for the Bearcats. This one, a defensive battle early. First quarter, Bellevue West driving, but Evan Kaiser is sacked by a couple of Bearcats. The drive would stall. But a well-placed punt, and Kearney starting at its own 5. On the first play of the drive, Mike Master can't handle the option pitch, and it has to fall in the end zone for the Bellevue West safety, 2-0 T-Birds. Then later in the quarter, same score, Kearney quarterback Braden Miller back to pass, but it's picked off by Gannon Spann. In a low-scoring affair, the Thunderbirds move on with a 17-10 win. The number 4 seed Westside hosted Lincoln East at Phelps Field. In the first quarter, Westside's quarterback, Cole Payton, tosses this 13-yard pass to the end zone. Dylan Packett catches it for a touchdown. The Warriors led 10-0. Then in the third quarter, Payton rolls out to his left and passes to Trevor Barakis in the end zone for a touchdown. The Warriors led 20-0. Later in the third, Westside scored off this trick play. Brett Curran, watch him pass 39 yards downfield to Packett, who pulls it in for a touchdown. The final score was Westside 34 and Lincoln East 7. The Warriors will take on Millard West in the quarterfinals. The number 11 seed, Elkhorn South, looking for the upset against Lincoln High. The Lynx were trailing in the first quarter. Lincoln High quarterback Cedric Case with an absolute dime to C.J. Jones, a 34-yard touchdown. The Case had his up-and-down night in Lincoln. The Lincoln High defense comes up with a big play here. Elvin Potwell with the interception. Great play by him. The game was tied up to start the second quarter, but no more. Isaiah Alford, he ran like a man on a mission tonight with a big touchdown run. The Lynx go out in front, but a quick answer by Elkhorn South. Quarterback Drew Reitz, a Norris transfer to a wide-open Ellis Hustad. Storm within 1 now. And what an upset tonight. The final score was Elkhorn South 27 and Lincoln High 24. A big upset by the Storm. Elkhorn South is still alive. Be sure to check out tonight's highlights on 6 News app. The scores are loaded as they come in. More Class A scores. Grand Island wins it in comeback fashion over the defending state champion Omaha North 38-24. The Islanders get Millard South next week, and Lincoln Southeast beat Lincoln Southwest in a tight one, 14-10. Next week, the Knights will be taking on the winner between Papillion La Vista and Omaha Burke. We'll have highlights from that matchup after the break. Friday Night Fever will be right back. More action now starting in Class A with the top seed and undefeated Burke looking to move on from the first round of the BURKE playoffs. And it's the birthday girl, Bree Mellon. Bree, welcome.
Thanks, Ross. Appreciate it. This is the second time these two teams have met in the last 2 weeks. BURKE got the better half of Papio last week at BURKE Stadium, and Ross, you're going to love this. Look, fans dressing up tonight. I think that's supposed to be Scott Frost there in the stands. Linebacker Nick Henrik, Nebraska commit, still sidelined with a knee injury, but he was cheering on his teammates there on the sidelines. In the first quarter, Bulldogs up by a touchdown, and the other Husker commit, Chris Hickman, coming up with a big sack on Monarchs Logan Anderson. Now BURKE's possession, and Tyler Chadwick going to hand it off to James Burke for the TD. 14-0 Bulldogs. BURKE's had over 100 yards rushing in the first quarter alone. The second quarter, Jalen Roussel weaves in and out and dives across the goal line to extend the lead at 21-0. And it would be BURKE who would go on to defeat Papio again, moving on 43-20. The Bulldogs will take on Lincoln Southeast next week. Now to Class B, top-ranked Scott Catholic hosting Bennington. Skyhawks looking for their 10th consecutive win of the season. In the second half, they come out of the locker room leading 34-0, and senior Jared Epperson, who leads Class B in rushing yards and touchdowns, runs this one to the outside for a 40-yard gain. Then later in the drive, he'll run it in from 1 yard out. 41-0 Skyhawks. Now Michael Polson, quarterbacking now for Scud on the keeper. He picks up 16 yards for the first down. Very next play, Josh White gonna find the end zone as Scott dominates the Badgers in this one, 48-0. They remain unbeaten and advance on. Also in Class B, matchup between Mount Michael Benedict and Omaha Roncalli, takes the opening kickoff on a 78-yard drive, capped off by that 11-yard touchdown run by Jake Doltzer. Next drive, it's Doltzer going through the air. He finds Shane Orr as Orr slants across the goal line for the score. More action here. Alex Rogers with the handoff. He carries tacklers in, tumbling 9 yards for the touchdown as Roncalli knocks out Mount Michael 44-8. Ross, I'll send it back to you.
Happy birthday, Bree.
Thank you.
Okay, more Class B scores tonight. Blair survives an overtime shootout against Grand Island Northwest. They get the Skyhawks next week. And Ralston is blown out by Scotts Bluff. The Bearcats will face the Crimson Pride of Roncalli next week. Fifth-seeded Waverly blanks Lexington. The Vikings will take on McCook next week, who beat Hastings 35-7 tonight. Playoffs are also getting underway in Iowa. After the break, we'll show you how the undefeated Titans of Lewis Central did in their first round matchup. So don't go anywhere. We have one more game to get to, and that game is in Council Bluffs as Lewis Central hosts Carroll. Fast forward to the first half. Titans already up 70-0. Carroll looking to drive to make it a game. Brian Johnston with the tough run for the first down here. But the Tigers would be less successful through the air. Colby Vincent drops back to pass, but it's picked off by Julian Neitzer. And Neitzer finds a hole, and he heads down the sideline, and he goes all the way to the promised land for the score. Titans took a 24-point lead into the half, and they went on to win it 51-7. They'll take on Harlan next week. That's Friday Night Fever. Remember, tonight's scores are on our news app and WOWT.com right now. Now we go to Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord for a final look at the weather. Rusty?